So close yet so far for Astralis, unable to once again break from the shackles of NiP. And of course, Dust2 did go the way of the Swedes. Now we have another map here at the ESL Pro League, and I've got two Aussies beside me. I've got myself, Uber, and Chad. How you doing, dudes? I just called you dudes and it felt really, really fraudulent. I'm sorry, let me try again.
Gnarly, brah.
How you doing, brethren?
That's pretty grouse, mate.
Brethren? That's nice. That's more me. That's more me.
Can you do your Australian accent for everyone? Because I really enjoyed it.
It's not good.
Please.
No.
I get it all the time. You get it?
Yeah, you get to. Okay, maybe not on air. No, stop that.
If it comes to you, while we're doing this,
if it slips out,
all right.
Yeah, it has to happen naturally.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to force it. Moving away from my awful accents though and into the game, Overpass is up next, and of course it's always intriguing when we have the fresh off the back of an offline environment. You have a lot of rematches or the same maps have been played. We had it yesterday. We have it again today. Both Dust2 and Overpass played between these two teams, and what was so surprising to a lot of people was just the way in which NiP won Overpass over at Star Ladder. I think it was 16-6 or something rather obscene.
Correct.
Yes, 16-6. So that's like, this is kind of crazy to a lot of people, especially considering Astralis have caught a lot of eyes and turned a lot of heads, especially on the Overpass. I know Henry G's a big fan of the way the Danes do structure their CT side. For you though, Chad, I like to talk about personal preference when I have a new presence on the desk. Where does Overpass rate for you? I know we had Lauren talking about Dust2.
In terms of if I like the map?
Yeah, do you like
we never played it in Renegades.
Never.
Like, well, when we did, we lost. Okay. We lost a lot of the time. But when we played Overpass, we lost even more.
So you tended to avoid it?
We didn't really like it.
Did you give it a go at any point?
Yeah, we were starting to bring it in towards the end of my tenure. But yeah, it wasn't something that we really favoured.
So if you were to try and explain it to someone, unfamiliar with the map and how it does play out, I'm sure you watch a lot of Pro CS. How would you just define Overpass as a map?
I think it's very dependent on map control. So the CTs can take a lot of map control early, but they have to kind of gamble their numbers on where they're going to take that map control. Right. So if you're going to take the short section towards B, you want to do that with two guys, you're leaving one guy towards the monster area. Or if you want to go for maybe A-long control, you're leaving the toilet section of the map quite bare. So it's a gamble, and it's about talking through your rotations as a CT and how you're going to react when certain things happen. And that's a very important part of CT Overpass.
So you're talking a lot about the defensive side of things. Does that suggest where is the bias for you?
I think it's a CT map, definitely. Yeah. I think if you look at the match these guys had the other day, it was 12-3 in favour of NiP on the first half, I believe, as CT. So I think it's a CT map. I think you're looking if you get a 9-6 half as as CT, you're not happy with that. The Ts would be ecstatic. So yeah, I think it's a heavily CT bias map.
Okay. Expectations for you, Mitch? Are you just going to kind of take that 16-6 with as a little bit of pinch of salt, or is that going to be your main kind of basis for this prediction?
To be fair, I mean, that wasn't the only time. I mean, there were multiple occasions at Star Series where Astralis played Overpass. Yeah. Actually, Tyloo's a good example, where that's the one map in the best of 3 that Tyloo actually won. Fancy shut down Device really, really hard. Really hard. Device had a complete drop-off game there as well, like rating of 0.4 or something. So he was definitely sort of outgunned a lot of those cases. And because he's that kind of player, Chad was just saying off air, is that Astralis don't necessarily look like they're bringing flair or they're allowing their players to sort of go for anything like that. Device, I think, was trying to do that in the last map. Those early peaks, the early pick-offs, get the man advantage, especially on that CT side, and give yourselves a bit more comfort. He's not hitting them. So, I mean, looking at sort of at what happened last time on this map as well, and we talked about how it can be an investment for CTs on this map to get information, not totally unlike Cobblestone. You have less margin of error, in general.
Absolutely. And I mean, error has been something that has been no stranger for Astralis, actually. They've been having a lot of problems. In fact, Chad, you kind of suggested it earlier on when you were kind of setting the precedent for Astralis. You were kind of saying that they've been widely regarded as a top team for a very long time in various forms, various organizations, but they've never really had the results that you would perhaps expect from a roster given that recognition. Why do you think that is? And I don't think there's another team that has that same kind of problem.
When they first moved Carrigan into the lineup as the in-game leader of, I think it was Fetish at the time, he kind of revitalized the team. But since then, they haven't been revitalized again. They're not a team that can grab anybody else and turn them into the in-game leader. They rely heavily on Carrigan. So maybe they're really stale in that regard. I know they brought in Zonic, and you saw, same again, a little bit of resurgence, but
a little something.
They need something completely different, I think, just a shake-up. Just try something really new.
Well, maybe they can shake it up on Overpass, but it does seem like everything is pointing in the direction of NiP. A fresh result on this very map in an offline environment. Let's head over to your casters as we jump into map 2.
You clapped your hands and...
Just want to get ready,
I thought you were going to try and time it, and then you were way off, is what I thought happened. I wasn't sure.
It looks like this is way off, though. It's going to be straight into it. Have a clap for your map live. Action.
I like clapping the producer doesn't like looking at us. Thanks, Matt. You're a very kind gentleman. Zipex might bait them in here because Kirby, there you go, out from the short position early. They were looking toward the boost, and he's able to capitalize on the information gathered and passed along. Speaking of passed along, Forrest has passed by his location, found a headshot on his way in doing so, and he's got the bomb down now on top of the site. His device, he might find a kill back against Freiburg, but it's still on NiP immediately after it. It is just device 1 versus 3 in the window still. He has no kit. He's going to try and make a play out of this, though, isolating Michael Lilly, but that doesn't really matter because Michael's got the shot. And it's 1-0 in NiP again, so they'll start off this map just as a last with a pistol round. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. Astralis got the pistol. You're right, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I lied to you, and I'm terribly upset about it.
Yep, you let me down, let the audience down, and you let yourself down.
The audience, I don't really care about myself. I don't really care about you. I care about the audience.
Let's get back to the round, shall we? Yeah, nice fast play from NiP. Assertive towards B, descending the shots, decent exchanges. Was quite equal to start with, but NiP lighting it up. It was Makaleli and Forrest find 2 each. Not really much the remaining CT could do about that. So it will be NiP kicking things off successfully here on Overpass, which is interesting as well, considering we did see this matchup in the best of 3. It was actually pretty convincing for them. Actually, 16-6, I believe the final score was on Overpass. So it's going to be quite a simple round here. Not so much of a force buy from the CTs this time. A couple of deagles from CZ as well. Carrigan and Zipex have already dropped in the hands of Exist and Makaleli respectively. And deagles now to try and have some sort of retake here. I'm not really sure what the options are. It looks like they're just trying to save these weapons. They've been smoked out. And there's actually aggression from the terrorists as well, pushing in towards CT spawn. Will be Makaleli for that first shot. Fires off the Mac-10, but takes more damage than he deals as Device Witch on the corner there reloads at a horrible time with his teammates to back him up, and they do manage to pick up the kill. 2 of them, in fact.
Get right. He's going to rotate back around on this and try and go for a late lurk toward the players saving inside of A, so they are going to try and pinch them where they can. Is this worth it for Get Right? Well, he's got one of the most lovely painted P90s in the history of the entire world. So because it's a P90 and not a rifle, he can justify doing it. It's gone. It looks like... I don't even know what it looks like. What does it look like?
I don't know, like a race car maybe, the flames on the side, like a Hot Wheels car.
You just gave me cancer. Race cars with flames on them deserve to burn, literally.
Just saying that whatever comes to my mind, you know?
It's fine. But we are going to get back into it.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Well, it is going to give them a P90 to work with along with the EMP on Dupree, both of which have armor, so maybe that is a factor. The Mac-10 of Get Right switching to another SMG to try and work with. We'll have a little bit of challenge against them, but the rest should be no problem at all. Pistols and no armor.
Yeah, Freiburg, that silenced USP, the unarmored heads of the CTs as well. Should be able to just pick them off one by one. It's a little bit of a risk, I guess, but one that's justified considering he has 3 AKs and the Mac-10 around him. Will be a default for now. Get Right in his favorite position, working his way up towards short, seeing if he can get anything going here. It was a 4-man stack from the CT towards the B side as well, so presumably this should be working out and be good for 1 kill at least. Spots Dupree there. Unable to pull the trigger just yet. Wants a bit more of a commitment before he does. And there it is. Doesn't actually manage to take him down. Dupree's got body armor. That's going to be the saving grace for him in that respect, as NiP do make their way towards long. Bomb still down towards T-spawn, and this is going to be kind of dissecting the map right now, working out where the stack is going to be completely committed towards B. Bomb recovered, and they have got long control as well. What's the final play from NiP? It looks like it will be towards A eventually. Goodbye, Device.
Yeah, bye-bye. It's good to see you today. Thanks for showing up. Don't respawn in the next round. Do not pass go. Do not collect the $200. Let Kierby try and pull this back. Instead, he's actually done it. We'll give it to him. We'll credit him with the kill. Because Michael Lele says, I'll take a shot, and kills his teammate that he's weakened up. But this P90 that Get Right gave them is causing a lot of problems. As Dupree's going to find Get Right. Speak of the devil, and he shall die. What is that shot, Dupree? Peeks back out with 8 HP. The bomb goes down on top of the site. There's 16 seconds. He's tried to switch his way over toward the other stairwell.
Ooh.
As he's lost sight. It's going to be Exist in behind the truck, baiting this out, though, with the 8 HP. That's going to be his detriment. That is going to be Dupree down. And round 3, NiP. However, they lost a lot of guns in doing so, so there will be no Jaden round. They'll go straight onto an AWP and rifles along with it. Although Michael Lele, to be fair, 3950.
There's 2 orbs there again, am I being silly? There is 2 orbs.
They did drop it over.
Okay.
And it leaves Exist on a deagle, so they want the double op.
Double orb on the T side to kick things off. That's interesting approach. That actually worked very well in Kiev. In the biggest gun round, there's Michael Lele and Forrest doing this setup and is completely mowing down CTs across the map. Michael Lele especially. He had some fantastic form on Overpass. So it's actually quite interesting to see him actually pulling it out on the first gun round, not even saving an orb and picking one up and adding it to the roster. Is actually just going to be coming out in that first gun round. We'll see if it works out for them. Astralis are going to have an orb themselves in the hands of Device. I always say this is probably his best map in terms of impact. The way he actually works it and actually is able to get kills consistently is very impressive. Michael looking for that first jump shot. We do know that has been quite a familiar sight recently. Freiburg, normally so good at getting that first kill. It's going to be Debris taking him down this time. He got that shot tons of times in the grand final. But Michael in return finds Carrigan.
In, bounces awkwardly away from the Astralis players. Dupree got a little bit of that. He goes down to 65, so considerable damage perhaps. We can see where it detonated in relation to where he was really standing. He was already tagged up beforehand. It's going to be Device watching out toward long now, far side of the map with the AWP in hand, and Kirby getting forced will be the next kill as he pushes out toward the statue. Now, as we saw it from Device's perspective, and he hasn't moved away from this, Kirby pushing might have thought Device, okay, maybe the long position's clear, so he could have backed off on that. It could have given a chance for Exist to go for a lurk, but we'll see if Kirby realizes that this is still occupied as well, because they haven't made a call that they cleared long position, and Kirby's gone toward this stairwell, but he's playing on top. He does get the tag, thankfully. It looked like he was going to lose that battle for a minute. Reaction times are often misleading as he goes to 13 HP, but it's get right 1 versus 4, 14 seconds. He's got the bomb, Henry, but he can't even make it to a site if he tried.
No, he certainly cannot. That's funny on KRB, though. This is why that double orb investment was interesting. Normally, it's quite a large investment to make, considering it's the first gun round. You want to be picking one of those up, and when you have momentum flowing, you actually have. And that's a really weird move from Get Right. He doesn't give himself no money into the next round. Well, I guess they're only a first aid loss bonus regardless, but still, it was either save the weapon and keep that and have no money, or die before the round timer and get the 1400, or third option, die after the timer and get nothing at all. So he went for that option C. That interesting. Considering they were forced into this round, he would have had an AK to take them next.
I don't like option C. I wouldn't have done that if I were him.
No, I don't think he wanted to really.
Ooh, detonate, the short throw does work. Just gets beyond. I wasn't sure it was going to get beyond the edge of the door frame, but it does. And Michael will go down as a result. Device trying to get the shot out toward long. Remember, he's up against pistols. That's a cheeky little flash. I like that. Bounce off the signpost. Always good to see cheeky things, but it is going to be Freiburg with the Tech 9. Take down Kirby. That gives him an M4. And Freiburg, he was big on this map in the final. He's going to go large again, but it is Device. He's got a pistol. He's got him down to 6 HP. I was about to say 8. There's not a connecting joint to that top line on the right, so it's only a 6, not an 8. That's how the symbol works.
Yep, it's true. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I do provide you with the top quality insight.
The important details, for sure. Well, it's going to be Freiburg here giving his position away. That was the opportunity to find that kill. And did whiff the shot there. It was pretty difficult. He just saw a sliver of Device there. There's a bit of damage, but at this point looks like he's got 40 seconds. Could go towards B still, I guess. It's very unlikely you're going to plant. It'll be a bit of a blunder from Astralis if they allow it to happen as well, considering the circumstance. Makes way to T-spawn. 30 seconds now, and he will be running towards B. Carrigan in a great position there. Freiburg has to go along the very back wall to even try and stay alive. He does not. Carrigan spots it, takes him down, and that's going to be a good read from him. So surely this will be the eco now for NiP. Astralis, after losing the pistol, finding their first 2 gun rounds. I guess the last one wasn't a gun round, it was a force buy, but it would have been a lot more beneficial with that AK in the hands of Get Right. It still was a bit of a strange move from him in that regard. Round 6. A chance now for Astralis to start growing their own economy. Money's not great right now, but if they win this, extra 3,200 coming in. Objective is to keep all 5 players alive as Device, like I said, aggressive on this map. Likes to be finding those first kills. We did see it on Dust 2 as well, but it wasn't landing the shots to actually be that impactful in some of the key situations. And it's going to be 3-2. And Michael to open things up. Okay.
Good shot from the Deagle from Michael. It was one of the only erotic things we've seen so far, as it's going to be Device that tries to fire back, and the Tech 9 won't prevail all the way through. It does for Exist, though. I love Tech 9. Don't you love Tech 9?
Not really.
It's so divine, but it is going to be Dupree to catch off Get Right as he wraps back inside of the bathroom. It's going to be Exist remaining in a 1 versus 3, bomb down. And although he does have a Tech 9, of course, and an AWP, highly unlikely he'll be able to pull this back with only 29 HP and then with full vision of that bomb. They've given up long. They want to try and suck him in, trap him, and lure him toward it. Pretty straightforward from Astralis at this point in time as they look to go 3-3. This is another map for Astralis that really highlights the struggles they're currently having, because this was a map I would have argued that they could have taken any team in the world in all the way up to including Na'Vi, and they haven't really picked up much on it lately.
I'd agree. It's definitely a top pick for them historically, but hasn't been fantastic. What's also strange as well is NiP didn't really used to play it that much, and all of a sudden with Michael coming in as well, they seem like more than happy to play and actually getting very decent results in it. 3-3. Money still comes back in for NiP though, so 3 in a row for Astralis. That will be the 5 AKs for NiP. No double hop setup this time. Don't even think it was available. As Vice does the standard smoke towards the steps area, boosting himself up to see whether he can get a shot over towards Fountain. Actually a little bit more defensive here, just using it as a guard. As the terrorists do flash through though, gonna have to fall back as he gets towards bathroom though. That's a nice little crossfire as KRB finds the first shot. Freiburg to try and shut him down, but it's the CDs fighting all the kills here. Michael desperately trying to get something in return. Does get 2 with the grenade. Lands at his feet. Still the man advantage thoroughly in the favour of Astralis. 3-on-2 now exists to Michael to try and do something with this.
Good shot from Device. Play and a nice no-scope just for style points. He's steezy. Gets super steezy with that no-scope.
What does steezy mean?
Style with ease.
Ah, is that like a thing or a gaming term or a...
I think it actually started from probably snowboarders that had too much of a substance on that day and couldn't figure out English words anymore, but that's where it came from.
Steezy.
Yeah.
I might start saying that. Do you think I could pull that word off?
I think you could pull that off.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. It's usually involved with extreme sports, though, is where it came from.
Gnarly. Yeah?
Yeah, super rad, bro.
Yeah. Like it. All right, well, it's going to be Astralis with 4 rounds in a row now. Actually looking pretty promising here on the CT side of Overpass. Device with some nice form to finish off those last 2 kills. It's going to actually knock down NiP to just Deagles here. And Astralis only got 6 rounds in this in the big LAN game, the best of 3. Looking to do much more than that in the first half as NiP don't really have many options here. Do get control of middle, much more passive setup, and I guess it's just Astralis reading the economy, knowing they don't really need to go hunting for kills at this point. They wouldn't have much grenades to work with NiP, so just hold back, work together, make sure you're not giving easy kills away, and Device goes for the initial phase at the start. Legs exist to kick things off, and you can see that boost through the smoke. I think Device actually wants to finish him off with that USB. Does a ton of damage to Michael.
Trying to. His Device is going to just continue to watch from this park sign. They haven't really pushed him in a lot of times. We've seen him here time and time again. We saw him throw that cheeky flash out toward Long in one particular round, but they haven't gotten far enough to really distill him from this spot. They're getting a little bit closer this time as they slowly push out the front of Bathrooms. Missed shot for Device. Now he'll be under pressure. Flashes are going to go in front of Bathrooms. This time it's dead, but it's get right up close. He spots him, doesn't fire off, and that's going to give Michael this shot with the Deagle. It's on to Dupree, inside of the site. And Dupree, he's just waiting to fire back as Get Right is showing his face, but just his face. Low HP, Dupree's found it, bomb dropped. 19 seconds for Forrest to make something of nothing as he sits upon the precipice, and it's Dupree that will snip the lines and send him flying back down the cliff. It's going to be around for Astralis once more.
Yeah, NiP actually made that pretty interesting. Comes down to 2-1 as well, and Forrest definitely with an opportunity with that Deagle to finish things off. Got a bit uncomfortable, looked like a very steady round for Astralis going into it, finding the first kill as well, getting the information. It's Michael with 2 frags to actually bring it down to that situation, but Astralis managed to hold on just about as we go into round number 9. It's 5-3, looking very promising for Astralis since that pistol round. We do have the AWP out, this time on Forrest, as it was normal for him when we had Pitt in the lineup. I guess he still is in the lineup. The Forrest on the T side, opening Pitt on the CT, but it's been a mixed bag so far. And Device, here we go. This is why I'm saying this is his best map. Actually nice to push around and be surprising, and this time it works out perfectly. Gets Get Right towards short and falls back for a nice little boost as well. So just repositioning straight away. Going to be using that nade to blow out the door and see if he can spot the feet of maybe Freiburg or Forrest. But Forrest, he looks like he may be away here. He looks committed.
Looks committed. He definitely does. That's one thing he looks. It's Forrest. And you look over at that overlay on the NiP side. He stands out for the obvious reason of having the AWP, and you think, therefore, it might be his responsibility to try and pull something back as exist. He gets a full sense of security toward Long, and the security blanket lifted, ripped off, and he's left freezing cold in the exposure of KRB getting the shot back with the M4. Now it's definitely onto this AWP to find an opening over toward B. Smokes out on Monster late as well. He's not going to have a huge opportunity of doing so.
Yeah, options definitely limited here. Forrest and no nades as well. He's going to rely on Freiburg and Michael to try and take some vision away from the CTs. We can see towards that monster tunnel as well. Carrigan very close up. It's normally Zipex is joining him, which it is. They're actually hunting for frags here at this stage. And there's that a smoke coming in. It's actually a flashbang, just trying to buy as much time as they can to hit the 20-second mark. But Forest does find some form here. But Zipex just needs to find one kill. Should be round secure, but he goes one better and gets 2. 13 seconds remaining. And just Freiburg probably just has to save the weapon at this stage. Time ticking it down even further. Actually, might sound weird. Probably just wants to die, considering the maximum loss bonus as well. Doesn't want to have the risk of going down after the timer. So going in and see if he can do any financial damage to the CTs. But at this stage, the money's not amazing, not as strong as I thought. A lot of these rounds have been relatively close. You can see after the reinvestment, you can still have Carragher on 8k, it's 5k on Dupree and Device as well, so it's getting there. And this looks like it's a tactical pause for NiP. Yes, it is. So, Matthew, no one can really work out why the tactical pause always seems to equate to a round victory afterwards. I wish I could tell you. We didn't really have tactical pauses in my day.
Well, in theory, it doesn't necessarily mean that it should equate to a round win.
But it always seems to.
Well, because it should be called at the right time. So that's what it comes down to me. And when I say the right time, it doesn't mean, oh, you're losing momentum. It's when you've identified something that you can implement and you communicate that correctly with the additional time to your team as opposed to the 15 seconds in freeze time. Because sometimes that's one of the issues with not calling the timeout. You see what you're doing wrong, but you don't figure out how to fix it, or you don't explain how to fix it. By taking the timeout, usually I'd like to think, and I give teams the benefit of the doubt in doing this, that they're doing it not necessarily due to momentum, although sometimes it is to calm down the nerves. They're doing it because they've identified the issue. Now they just need to fix it.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense to you.
It's absolutely correct. Like in terms of the philosophy behind it, it's just consistently in top level games. My point is, it's every single time it feels like at least that a pause always seems to find form after it. And of course, like you said, that there is something behind addressing issues and seeing flaws or exploits you can actually take advantage of. It's just, I can't believe it's this successful every single time. Even saw it in the previous game. Both teams took a tactical pause and Dust 2 and ended up coming back from deficits into victories. So
but I think as well, like as teams, a lot of times when you're losing games at this level, it is repetitive mistakes. So the timeout allows you to address them. It's not like it's a massive change we often see, unless there's some cool push or something that they're going to try, or like, you know, a boost or something. I don't know. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like it's usually very simple tweaks that are being made.
We'll see. I'll have a look at the minimap right now and we'll see what's coming to the table. Device back towards middle. Ooh, flashed off just in time. Looked like he was hungry for that first frag. But Get Right's coming in for the active hunt. Straight in behind him as well. He's actually got in, and it's going to be Forest towards long. It looks like this could be a successful round. Forest with the double. He's going to be taking down Dupree with him as well. And it was Get Right that got dropped. I thought he had a great position there, but Device caught the better of him. And he's looking to go one better as well. That shot would have been sensational. Can't quite land it for now as Michael chimes in as well. So the pause looking like it's going to be working perfectly. Much faster approach. I guess this was the change of pace for NiP going into this round, pushing through the smoke and trying to find Device who's close range. I haven't got the kill on him, but towards long, they've been sensational. It's going to be Forest now. Finally on Device. Carragher do what he can, making a pretty good case for it.
He's making a very good case. 14 HP though. Could quickly turn into a disgrace, as it does. Michael will catch him pushing back through, and it is, as you say, the exact identification. I just want to go back to that because it's not like a regular sport where you're on a field and, you know, your setup dictates, you know, if you're playing a 4-3-3 or whatever it is in soccer, I can't count, or, you know, a wide side lock in hockey, or you're dropping to a reverse defensive play off the draw, that you do something completely different in the last 10 seconds of, you know, the play to try and go for that heroic moment and force that overtime. In CS, it's fundamentals, and if you address the fundamentals and make sure that they're being played correctly, it doesn't really matter to me when a timeout is called, as long as it's to address the correct things and identification.
Well, this is much more back to basics now for NiP. They did this a lot of times in Kiev, and it was very successful. The contact play towards the B site, and it's going to be Zipex now to try and hold them off as he addresses the issue. He's going to be smoking to the bomb site himself, just trying to buy some time at this point as Get Right lurking in the smoke. Of course, it's going to be a very close scenario as Zipex does take him down. 3 versus 4 now. Terror is still yet to plant.
Zipex, he likes to sit upon this position. We've often seen when they are in the lead, a very clever and interesting, and we still can't figure it out, strat where they just all stare at him and wait for him to make a move. But it's Dupree in behind the barrels. He's yet to be facing in this position. Dupree instead will find the kill immediately against Michael, who looks away from it. They don't use utility to push him out. Finally, Forest will go for the counter peek. It's now a 3 versus 2 and a 2 versus 1 as quickly as I can mention it. Freiburg with one out with the other. And this will force the CTs into an awkward position. Although they've got the man advantage, do they stick together and allow and potentially concede a bomb plant, or do they split and try and catch off Forrest, who's rotating away with bomb toward A site? He's going to have to go on this 30 seconds. He's pretty much got to commit to the A site as soon as he arrives.
Yeah, absolutely. By the time he actually gets to the A site, he's going to have maybe just over 10 seconds. It's going to be almost exact, I reckon. I think I got that right. Here we go.
I knew I did something
9
triggering.
seconds, yeah. It's perfect. So Henry said just over 10. Boom, 11.
And
that's good.
Well done, Henry. I've called football soccer in the chat, get angry with me, but he hasn't got the bomb plan done. So this is the, I don't disagree with this. Astralis sticking together. It does concede a little bit of income to the NiP side, but they stick together. They can force out a double peek here, immediately go for a trade, try not to isolate themselves. Forrest is playing this quite good in the fact that he's only facing off to one stairwell, but Device, his aim's better than the thought process of Forrest to the end, and it'll make it 7-4. They're just going to give some time to collect some guns, weaponry, and utility as well for Kirby.
Yeah, I think there's a secondary AWP they want to go pick up potentially. Let's have a look. No, I guess it's not. Forrest would have had it originally. Maybe he dropped
if it's there, it's going to be near Monster. Oh, I think it's near Monster.
Yeah, didn't find it. They wanted to do it, obviously. But the bomb going down for the terrorists, it does add to their 1400 total. They have been reset technically here. So looking at the money, it's only Get Right that can really afford to get into a full buy here. So it's going to be another partial for the terrorists at this stage. Upgraded pistols. And after the pause, that great fast round towards middle and shutting down the AWP aggressive play. Actually going to be taken down towards that B side. That's normally a round that's very successful for an IP. Don't really have much to work with going into round number 12. It will be Get Right on the Desert Eagle, body armor, no nades, and Device. Looking for those initial kills. Can't get anything just yet. Does actually get taken down by the Tech 9 of Existent Forest. So they're trying to get the AWP in return, but Kiabi, he's going to be trying to thwart that plan as he goes aggressive in the bottom area. Most of one kill, gets a tag on the second as well. Freiburg is on 24 HP, but Exist, he has picked up the AWP and thrown it into the hands, the capable hands of Michael Elliott, I should say.
Yeah, more than capable as of late. I've been impressed with his style. And I highlight what YNK said in his lengthy AMA. Those things are taxing to do now, by the way. Those are a chore. So credit to him. I did one in March. I think I got halfway through. There's still about 1,000 questions I didn't answer that I thought I'd go back and do, but they're repetitive is the problem.
I did mine at the start of 2015, I think.
Yeah, they're rough. Either way, YNK addressed it. It's very different when you're playing as a stand-in and the pressures don't apply. Now, maybe there is pressure after winning a tournament. Maybe they feel like they have to follow that up. So it could change, but he's playing a very aggressive style as a result. Watch this bait and switch in because Dupree, he's pushed up into the corner. They never saw it. Kirby's going to get the second kill, but that's on the back of the damage that was dealt. And Kirby will then switch back to the front of the bathrooms and find Freiburg and wait. Get Right will have no greater fate aside from going down, and it's going to leave 4 players alive on the Astralis side heading into round 13. Their money starting to build. Not quite enough to ride out for the rest of the half. In fact, almost in a position where, because they had to rebuy into an M4, they could almost be broken right away on this. I'd only give them $1,400. They could force if they wanted to, but forcing on 14 would be a tough call. Either way, so a very important round in terms of the landscape to end out this first half right here as NiP's in a similar position money-wise.
Looking to go fast in the connector area will be NiP. Get Right and Freiburg sticking together and actually to find Device here. Choosing the right part of the map. It was been Device has been going aggressive, but Zipex, what a kill that was. Jumping over the fence as well, gets the vision of Freiburg, and the instant reply frag gets 2 for the wall map. Double wall bangs. That's not bad at all, and actually gives them the man advantage. That's kind of sick, actually. Just jumping over and just completely wrecking them. Go into the 4-on-3. What a play that was from Zipex.
Zipex is going to rotate inside of this site, play the pillar. The pillar with the portrait of Moses just off to the right as we saw. There it is, the green one. As Zipex is going to spray down all 3 with the little guidance from Modus on him. That's very well done from Zip.
Yeah, like that was a round where Device goes aggressive towards short. Looking at that first pick, we said he's great at it. He goes down, and NiP finally got something to work with here in a gun round. You know what? Zipex going to jump up, wall bang 2 of you. So don't worry about it. He's going to get the spray down on the rest of you as well. So there it is, 9-4. Astralis looking to get 10 here. Another eco for NiP. So the last time these guys met on this map was on LAN. It was 16-6 in favor of the Ninjas. This time Astralis in the first half, they've already got 9. Potentially looking to get more once it is another eco. And it will be maybe a B play here. Actually going to be focusing towards middle. Will be Forest and Exist. Device though, Deva, as some like to call him. And he's going to be taking that first kill.
What an ace as well with the walled spray down on the first one that he gets. But it is round 14, and we mentioned it, NiP's money gone. They will be able to buy out for round 15, but we're looking at 10 rounds potentially already for Astralis. I'd say that's a foregone conclusion with Kerrigan securing what is now a 5 versus 3 situation. Freiburg tries to pull one back. He'll have no such success, and Dupree finding Get Right will end it just as quickly as we can begin the next one. About 15 seconds from now we'll begin it. I don't know how the time relates, but that's what I'm going to say, Henry.
Well, as long as you say it with enough confidence, you can make anyone believe it. 10-4, last round map. 4 AKs for NiP, Forest and the AWP. It's been a pretty rough half of them. They've won the pistol, remember. NiP were 3-0 up at the start. They've got one gun round so far.
It's no different than their CT, or rather Astralis' CT side in the last map. So we've seen a lot of these lackluster performances. The difference is that Astralis were able to take some time out to nearly make a case for it in the last game. This time it's the end of the first half. The best they'll get is 5 before switching over, and Astralis will be in a great position. NiP will need a pistol. It's all the same old, same old. What do they say? SSDD, is that what the old saying used to be? That was like the old YOLO, right?
SSDD.
Yeah, same, different day. Device gets the shot on to exist.
Was the old YOLO.
Well, that's YOLO is just carpe diem for stupid people.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a push-up long. That's going to give KRB a massive opportunity. They think they've cleaned out the front of bathrooms by pushing them back slowly and that AWP getting to the top of the stairwell. It doesn't really work out, and therefore Forest gets careless, gets caught off guard, and it's going to give them a 2-man advantage as they were a little bit, I say, slow in clearing out that secondary connector position inside of the bathrooms. Freiburg does get 1 kill the other direction as KRB goes hunting for information. If they can find the next, great, there's a chance. But look at the stack over toward the B side after that information that KRB's gained. And Dupree pushed up. That makes it even harder for them.
Well, this is looking like a very convincing half for Astralis with the man advantage, his final B push as well. They've dropped the smokes at the perfect time. Time's ticking away, but Kerrigan whips the spray, and it looks like we have got a 2-on-2. 20 seconds, Device just trying to hide himself just long enough to deny the plan. If he can do that, it's pretty much round over. Looking to get the kill on the teammate, though. He can spot the bomb. He does enough damage, and he actually gets the kill as well. Finishes it off through the fence, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be 11-4 here in the first half for the CT. So NiP there, after winning the pistol, looking to carry on that form from Dust 2. They actually look fantastic. Astralis do, sorry, on the first half. 11-4. NiP kind of drop off there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that I'm not surprised, because this is the map, obviously, that NiP took the championship on against G2, but they did it a little bit on the back of the CT side that was very dynamic. And if you remember there, we had the dispute in the pistol call, which went against them.
Right,
And then it slowed things down a little bit. But the T side was never the strong suit until they got to overtime, and then they started getting rounds because the economy was reset. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do on their CT side, because it was very dynamic, and we'll talk a little bit more about it with discipline as we see it go on, and we'll see if we see any replicated features. But first and foremost, we take a break. When we come back, we'll close out this series between Astralis and NiP. Maybe. I'm not sure. So as mentioned, NiP had most of their success against G2 in the final on the CT side. One of the things we expected to see was a very aggressive Michael Lilly. It never really happened. NiP played more of a passive-aggressive, and what they didn't use either of those traditional strategies, pushing out or in the lower tunnels. Therefore, they could throw curveballs and use them at the right times, and it caught G2 off. I'm curious to see if we see that approach again from NiP, where they just kind of let this false sense of security, these oversights create, you know, Astralis becomes their own worst enemy in that sense, where they don't check corners and such, because that's kind of what G2 did to them.
Yeah, well, NiP definitely formidable on the CT's half as well. I'm sure we're going to see this game go the distance. It always does. No one ever gets beaten in Pro League easily. No one ever takes a beating.
It's not 12-3, which is the comeback scoreline of the season.
In Pro League. It's never happened.
It's maybe.
It just feels like anyone who gets huge leads, it's never a foregone conclusion. That's normally the case in online CS. These kind of top teams meeting each other. On LAN, it's not normally the case, but definitely online, there's always every reason why a team can get back into it. It just comes down to the pistol, really. And if you pick that up, we're going the distance.
And to be fair, I painted this vibrant picture of what I might expect from an NiP CT side. If they don't win a pistol, we won't even get that far. Exactly,
but they will win it.
So, oh, will they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm predicting a flyback 3-man.
Can we lay a wager on that?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to put on the line?
Well, it's all on you, so it's either do or don't. I'm not involved. You just pretty much wagered yourself.
No, you called the wager out.
Oh, I didn't know. You said they were going to win it no matter what. So if they lose, okay.
And you said you want to wager. No, well, so you throw it down.
All right. Shave your head.
It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
It's just an online pistol, mate.
It's a bit much.
Shave your head.
Why don't you shave your beard? Oh, wait, it's gone. Are you going to grow that back?
Oh, I kind of am right now, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
It's only been a week. I know. It's only been a week. I'll dye my hair a color of your choosing.
Twitch purple.
Twitch purple, deal.
Oh, I don't know. Please, this is just a fun.
I will get my new racing helmet. I will get it to a homage to Henry G.
Yeah.
Not happening, but you said NiP is going to win. If you're wrong, you're shaving your head, and I never wagered anything. We never got to agree to it, and sorry, we're out of time. So that's where we are. 1 minute and 40 seconds to work with.
They will win it. They always do. When you've got Freiburg.
Always in this series.
When you've got Freiburg and Get Right, and Forest, what the hell are you going to do?
Someone just said Statistics is from Canada, not NA. I'm not sure if you realize there's Canada's in NA.
I love when people do that. It's good, isn't it? Well, then, it's going to be 3 sets of armor for Astralis. The Danes trying to close this one out early. They know if NiP win the pistol, they're right back into this one. So, if they can get the pistol here, it will mean they can potentially tie up the series 1-1, but we'll see. 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes, a couple of flashbangs as well. And they're not committing just yet to anything, really. They're spreading themselves out across the map because they're going to be focusing towards middle, but there are 3 CTs there.
Michael Lilly being the first of which he's got the kill. He's starting it off. Henry, your hair's safe so far, but Device, he wants it cut because he once went blonde on a bet and he regretted it. So he wants you to suffer the same fate. Exist gonna get away from that doorway, but nearly caught. It's Kirby. Oh, and they're double peeking it. He's gonna get the kill, but Freiburg pulls one back against Dupree through the wall of all things with the USP as he lines up on the information that his team had.
Oh,
however,
okay.
It's Device to hit the shot. Forrest on 2 HP, and Freiburg makes 2 against Device and Xyp9x, who Device having 16 is in a better position here for the Astralis side. Xyp9x picking away at Freiburg as well is going to put him low. There's now 11 HP for 2 NiP players and all of Henry's hair. As Xyp9x continues forward, they will get a bomb plant out of this. Device going to be the one to hold it. High HP. Xyp9x just needs to be careful not to get dinked up by this. Flash over. Needs to be careful not to get caught. Second one's going to catch him in full duration, but Device, his vision's good. His eyes will not weary. It's going to take down Freiburg on the way through, and Forrest, a large task in front with 2 HP if he pulls this off. I would be very impressed, and you are now bald.
The thing is, when I used to have long hair, I'd actually probably care, but when I've got it this short, it wouldn't look that different anyway. So we'll just do it tomorrow, shall we?
All right. Are you actually going to go? You're not going to go through with this.
You don't want to bet? Want to put a wager down, Matt?
Well, the wager's already done. You already lost the bet.
Double or nothing?
What do I like? Do I have to shave all my body hair, like eyebrows as well?
Literally all of it.
I was going to do that on Halloween once. Just shave everything and go as a sperm.
Okay. Can you just buy an outfit for that? Just buy like a sheet or something?
Well, you'd probably just get one of those morph suits.
Yeah, that would work. Wow, Astralis.
It's better than going in just my pants and saying I'm a premature ejaculator. I came in my pants.
Okay, let's move on from this.
I like this boost at the slide because I like sliding on the slide as a kid. I want a Dragon Lore replica built on the Overpass dragon. That's what I want.
An Overpass replica.
Well, you know how the Dragon Lures on Cobblestone?
Yeah.
You got the Dragon inside the park
Right, I see
on
what you mean.
Overpass.
Right, okay. All right.
Either way, we're getting back into it. Device smoke out inside of the bathrooms. That boost not really amounting to anything. They couldn't spot it.
Nothing purchased from NiP. Have they got something planned for the next round? So they'll get, with this full eco, they get 1900 on top of this. Will they go in like a full UMP buy and try and step it up and see what they can do there? Something like a little bit of a curveball? Or will they just be going for the full-on 3 rounds, going to the 4th with the full guns? So that's the interesting question here. We'll see what this works out for them. The USP is actually finding a kill here. Still an equal exchange for now, but looking like Astralis have got full control of the B-bomb site, as it will be round number 2 going in Astralis' favour. Almost certainly this stage is Carrigan, mows down 1. Michael Eddy feels the headshot of the AK-47, and Carrigan can spot a couple more as well. So he'll just be holding that perimeter where the bomb is planted. Debris though, and Kiabi finding kills. There it is. Maybe we will have a runaway game here. 13-4. So this is the thing I was actually speculating before. Will they go with UMPs? Okay, yeah, they are. This is interesting. So it's Famis's as well. So Famis's scouts, UMP, MP7. It's definitely not orthodox, but it may be an interesting call considering the circumstance. They know they need a bit of a miracle to get back into this game. This is the round where Astralis probably won't be expecting this. I think they'll be a little bit tentative considering there's a full eco from the CTs, which is rare. It's very rare to see nothing purchased at all. USPs in that second round. Normally a lot of CT teams will force. If they don't, they'll just get at least upgraded pistols. It's strange to see just USP with no armor at all. It's a fast rush from Astralis, but the flashbangs are good. Exist can't find the kills, but there it is. The MP7's starting to do some work now. It's tight. No one actually finding any kills on terrorists just yet. A ton of damage being inflicted as well. This just could work.
It might indeed, as Exist is still in behind these barrels. We saw him struggle in the final against G2 at Starlighter because he was Molotov'd off frequently, but they don't elect to use one on the Astralis side. It's going to be Device to catch Forest, and therefore Exist is in prime position to slow them down on the way through. Falling to the grave and floating in a puddle of sewage, just as anyone would like to do after they die. It's going to leave Kirby just with 9 HP.
So it does
over
work.
toward the A site.
They weren't expecting it. Went for the full contact playing towards B. It wasn't even contact. It was looking like B rush with flashes as well. It seemed like the initial flashes were decent. Actually, Exist couldn't do anything with it, but it wasn't for us. Sorry, it was Freiburg finding that first kill of the SMG, and then Get Right rotates in quickly. And this is going to be quite an impressive round for them. Problem is, Astralis will have money to get into the next round. It won't be amazing amount of cash, but still, Kiabi with some room to find some kills here. $600 per kill with that UMP, so everyone he can get will mean something for him. He's got 9 HP, and he's surely dead now. Oh, managed to stay alive. No bomb, of course, so might just be trying to stay alive here. Going to be rotating back towards connector, maybe try and find someone to that angle. If he goes quick enough, they might not expect him this, I guess, position, this sort of stage, but they're ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, he might get a kill and add some money over all of this, but low HP. It's going to be Exist to close it out now. 6 rounds for NiP, so we might get a start of something here.
It's happening.
What was your favorite Halloween costume?
I've already dressed up once for Halloween, and I hated it so much. I felt so self-conscious the whole night.
Really? Because that's the thing. Like, normally the shy people enjoy it because they get to be an alter ego.
No, I hate it. I dressed up as a magician, and I looked like a complete tool, and I'm never dressing up again. I'll show you a picture later. It's the worst thing I've ever done.
I already told you, too. There was one my brother did where he glued Barbies to himself and was a chick magnet, but I put... Michael Lilly, he did go for the contact play. I put a cardboard box over me covered with a sheet and put a lampshade on my head and then put like a bunch of stuff on it, and I was a nightstand. I was a one-night stand.
A one-night stand, that's good. That's clever.
It was good, except the box, I could hardly walk around at the party.
No, I did Captain America once as well. That's a horrible photo.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Yep, actually some horrible ones. Anyway, speaking of horrible ones, Dupree, he gets smashed with the AK-47 to kick things off, and it looks like NiP are getting back into this game. It's going to be the force buy from Astralis. They did get a couple of SMGs, some Galils and AKs. A couple of smokes to go with it as well, but 5-4, that first man advantage gathered for NiP. And looking like they've got a player towards Barfins as well. It's Forrest who's started to hunt at the start. See if he can get another kill to add to the tally. At this point, you'd consider them to actually fall back, but he's still actively hunting here.
A shot from Forrest, but he's left in the open. It's no man's land against that corner once spotted. It's a one and done, and that's exactly the case. He gets one, he's done to Kerrigan. As it's now a 3-on-4. Device and Dupree, the double D combo gone. But we've got the 2Ks, Kerrigan and Kirby, still alive and trying to push into the NiP territory.
takes this. Should be an easy kill with that. Only gets one, but that's enough to win the round by the looks of things as Freiburg. Him and Freiburg have actually been fantastic on this B side recently. It's actually been one of the most impressive duos with very good reads and good crossfires, playing off each other nicely, saving the incendiaries for the right moments as well. Another good example as to why they're good in that bomb side. So Astralis at this stage shouldn't have much money to work with, so there's just be some upgraded pistols. Not going to be doing too much with them. Just going to have around 2k each. As we're going to round number 5, NiP, like I said, this will probably be a very close game now, I dare say. Let's get right with the smoke towards Monster. And that's going to be amounting to nothing. So all of Astralis are heading towards middle quickly with these Deagles and PT50s.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad, although it does drag things on a little bit, I'm kind of glad we saw NiP win that early aggressive play, because now we get to see if this methodology, you know what I mean? This mindset, methodology. I still can't say
methodology.
Thank you.
Methodology.
That is amazing that I can't even say the word. Methodology works where they go for this sort of passive-aggressive style. Forrest is going to attempt it right now inside of the bathrooms. As he gets around the corner, he does spot up Dupree. He'll find the kill as well, so they don't have to find aggressive plays all the time. Michael stays on a scout this time, so didn't even need to push. Yes, they're up against pistols, but now do they start to give Astralis this approach that, you know, all right, we might be at our end of the bathrooms, we're not at yours, and then all of a sudden they pop up inside of the stairwells at mid, they start pushing down toward long at the tree and the rock. It was quite clever to see at the finals, so I'm hoping we get something of it. Michael's going to stay on this scout as well.
Or as you would say, the scoot.
I knew you were going to say that. I somehow could see it coming. Yeah. I even thought in my head, yes, I said it right that time, and then you still brought it up.
Yeah. Well, you know, Astralis round number 6, looking to just get one of these gun runs working in their favour since that interesting force buy from NiP. Which actually I kind of liked. I think Astralis saw it coming and locked it down. They managed to get 3 rounds in a row here. 5 AKs to the Danes as we go into round number 6, and it's going to be, like I said, McLady on the scout. He's actually going to get aggressive here. Fires that first shot off. Needs to be careful as he bunny hops out of danger there, and it's going to be going back towards the side. They know the scout's there at this point. No one's available. He's taking damage through the smoke once again as Kiabi lands that first shot. It doesn't do substantial damage just yet, and it's going to be Forrest and a little bit of a duel here towards that long rock. Getting Pincedo from the bathrooms. Nice work from Astralis. Finally have an advantage here. Get right pushed off towards short of B. Freiburg to be with him as well. Zipek's taking a lot of damage though, down to 8.
Yeah, indeed. But they've got the man advantage to work with against that NiP, who now fan out a little more across the map. The one thing they do have is get right out toward the water position, so he can start to cover off the rotation through short and anyone that comes back down towards Squeaky, which is exactly what Dupree is up to. Now, we know this is the thinnest of thin walls in CSGO. It's all, not quite, but almost nuke status 1.6. And as soon as he's found, he gets taken down. Does pick up Dupree on the way through, though. That's going to give them something to work with on these rotations. Freiburg, the Molotov's going to hold them out. 28 seconds. Zipix is inside of the site. He's low headshot. It wouldn't have mattered as the AK-47 does the deed. And it's going to force them back the other direction, though. This rotation bomb, it's got 19 seconds to get all the way to the site. It's going to be there right around 7. I'm going to take my gamble this time, Henry. As Device, he's got to hold them off and give a chance. Underneath the exhaust, he'll find one. It's smoking hot. As now he looks toward the back stairs. 7 seconds. Nailed it, Kerrigan. He's going to get immediately onto the default plant. The Device, he's held it off timely.
So there it is, after Astralis getting that first pick and actually having something to work with there. It did get a bit scary, like you said, the timing running out. It's Freiburg once again saving his incendiary for the perfect time, actually funnels it perfectly from short, and they have to get back towards A. It was a nice read from NiP, but they just couldn't rotate in time. And Astralis do get a step closer now, touching distance of taking map number 2. It's going to be 14-7. The money is available for Ninjas, though. You can see they have got the AWP in the hands of Forrest this time, who will be going towards long A, looking at that first pick. Not going to have any challenge just yet. Looks like a B play coming in from the Danes as they have got 5 AKs here. Maybe a set piece, wall of smoke towards that B side, try and get a plant down and force the retake to come in. There are 2 kits available for NiP. So, once again, a player pushing off. So if he get right, but completely wrecked by Dupree. He's so good in this position, whether they're jumping or pushing. He seems to be finding the headshots time and time again.
Dupree just trying to see some vision toward window, realizes now that no one is there. Freiburg, meanwhile, on the other side of the wooden board, we know so much that he likes to play in that position. So, how does he approach the situation? That jump is so scary. Yeah, he's one of the ones that loves to hit it, but how does he approach this, I was going to say, because he's got 2 potential spray down positions, and they've elected to walk away from both of those Astralis inside of that water. Freiburg, just above the pit. Gets a Molotov off toward jungle. But he's got company inside of the site to help him with all of this. Of course, Exist still alive and well, and it's going to get Freiburg actually Viral's position this time. No Molotov so far. Exist playing on the ramp, gets thrown in by the flash, but Freiburg not peeking with him because he's dodging the flash that caught him. Is going to cost him his life, but Freiburg's pulled back with 2. He'll go back around once more toward the pit, jump back, sees Debris trying to walk down toward him, but just the flames combining with the damage of the bullets, and Freiburg's life lost. Still, though, the man advantage for Astralis. 14 rounds, looking for the map point. They've got the bomb down, and Michael he's going to try and fire back against Device, but the flashes have been timely from Astralis the whole time in toward the site. Yeah, and another one does work out for them as well. So Michael just with that incendiary now, trying to do what he can to delay the terrorists coming in, but it's just going to be Forest. 3 versus 1. He's coming from Monster as well, has the AWP, no kit. He knows he needs to do something here, so he's going to try his absolute best. Try and find his first kill. Nails that. Zipex drops. That's given away the position, though. He has actually managed to pick up a smoke. Throws on the bomb site. He has actually got a shot at doing this one. If he had a kill, it might be a little bit more successful. What a headshot that was. Takes down Dupree. Now it gets interesting. Device trying to run away. Delay it as long as possible. And does finish off the final kill. Forrest didn't have the kit. Had to chase that one. But still, he gave it a really good effort there. It's going to be 15-7. Probably the last round here, considering NiP have no money. But my God, Forrest... That second shot was absolutely stellar. Look at this. Would you just look at that? Just
look
look at it.
Look at this.
Just look at it.
That.
Oh, that... Did he... Okay, can we get that slowed down and rewound, please? I wonder if he was actually giving up and turned to go the other way and the last bullet hit him.
Well then, look at that.
Just look at it.
That video is so good.
He's going to get taken down by a pistol of Forrest, who once again finds kills, but this time he's been snipped, he's been clipped, and Zipex, well, he'll fall to Exist, so it does still go to a 3 versus 3. Michael got a lovely weapon in all of this, I have to say. Speaking of lumberjacks and forests, he's the farmer in the woods right now as he's got the shotgun. Farmer's daughter, though, that's going to be Device. He's taken down, yes. Yes, that's Device. Yeah, that's a little bit of a strange commitment from him. He's running onto the side by himself with no real information. No one to get the refrag. Get right, picks up a kill and a rifle as well. Device maybe a little bit too confident here, but Kiabi, he's confident as well. He gets the kill on towards Get Right, and it's Michael with the shotgun, low HP, going to be running back. Is Kiabi, and now surely the Danes can finish this one off. 1 round required, 5-7. Wildly sprayed by Michael there, looking for the AK in return. He does not find it just yet, but Exist has got one, so the plan comes in, no kits available. There's going to be straight up challenges here, and it's not going to be working out for them. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Kiabi, great form of the weekend. Can he be the one to actually win Astralis' final map? Kirby top of the stairs waiting to try and find this peak. He's got it down to 1 versus 1 in the low HP, and Michael he's got the headshot. Kirby, Kid Koala. I don't know why he reminds me of a koala bear, Kirby, but speaking of that, we've got 2 Australians that'll talk about this game. I'm not throwing right away, but I'm going to in a moment. That's a good pickup. 1 versus 1 on the night between those 2 teams, and the way the table's shaping up, I think they might take a look at it here, I'm not sure, but the way it's shaping up, these trades, you look at a team like Virtus.Pro, who barely made it through last year, and there's teams ahead of them on the table that have losing records, like they're 5-7. Whereas right? Any team is in the, maybe not flip side, but any other team is in this. Yeah, like absolutely. Penta could win out the rest of the year almost. No one's getting those phaser open things up, and they got like a great start 6-0. I think Navi still have a clean run, I think. 6-0. Yeah, so they're the ones who are like 6-0 with plus 41, so they're like 16 to 7.3 is the average score against them as well, which is crazy. Dignitas just beat Fnatic 2-0 as well. Just saw that. Interesting. That's big. Anyway, let's throw it over to lovely Alex Richardson and the Aussies. Let's go.
Lovely. Oh, he is a charmer, isn't he? Henry G there and Sada Kiss as they do conclude our 2 best of 1s, or I guess we'd have been often describing it as a best of 2 here for the ESL Pro League. And Astralis do finally do it. They break through. And especially on a map that they conceded so kind of mirror opposite, actually. I mean, 16-6 previously when they did meet on this map, and now they go ahead and find themselves at 16-7. Did you, at any point coming into that second half, start feeling like it was going to start slipping away, or did they have control for the majority there?
I thought I'd jinx it and say that there was a comeback so that it would just be over. Okay. And it was. No, it's a reverse jinx. But I actually predicted, because you didn't ask me, I predicted Astralis were going to win Overpass.
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Just padding the stats. Is that what you're doing? Just going for those eco frags. Yeah. Sweet.
I mean, we believe we're from a country called Terra Australis, so you know we're always going to be a little bit on that side of things.
Called them Australis, I think.
Australis.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was an accident. Yeah. But
we'll take it anyway.
Yeah, we'll cop it.
Awesome stuff. Well, moving away from that for a second, of course. While we do have Australia being talked about, you were telling me just how many times Europe fit into Australia. How much of it?
I had it up here before.
How much? You had all the calls. Yeah, you did.
I had the stats.
He was dropping like loads of knowledge bombs. Obviously,
anyway,
while we were watching the game.
Tiny, but
we're really small. There's a loud Canadian over there.
Why is he yelling about Canada? I like Canada.
Yeah, it's a nice country.
We don't need to have a
doesn't matter
measuring contest. Anyway, let's talk about the game because I really liked the way that the CT side was played by Astralis then.
Okay.
NiP were doing like defaults and they were split up and they were spread out. And guess what? Device and Kirby, they got to poke and prod around the map and get nice easy frags.
Yeah.
And it put them in a good situation for the first, I think, 3 or 4 gun rounds that we saw. Yeah. And that kind of set the tone for the half. And then Henry and Mr. Matt over there from Canada, they started talking about how important the pause was. And we only saw NiP get 1 round after that pause, and then it was still, they didn't get a lot out of it. And I think their adjustment was to play together and try to trade out, and then they, Astralis quickly adapted to that and started playing more as a unit on that CT side.
And I mean, it's not like we haven't seen great performances from Astralis recently, Mitch, but that was a really quick reminder of what they are capable of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just 7 rounds, and NiP couldn't find a footing.
If you've done your homework on NiP or if you watch their games, you know how much emphasis they put on the underpass or the connector on their T-side rounds. Yeah. So I put Freiberg there quite often as well. So he's always a player sort of being relied on to at least win the duel. And you saw on that first clip there as well, I think it was Kirby and Device just sort of 2-manning down in towards that connector just to secure it. So, and on that note, much better from Device's game, even at halftime, I think 22 frags for him. Still a couple of occasions though, I'll be honest with you. Like we saw him peak towards Party, we saw him peak on the B side as well. Early picks with his AWPs, not always connecting, but still generally more consistent for him in this game. So I would say an improvement over the 2 best ones.
Yeah, something we haven't discussed as well was this kind of Device Carrigan AWP mismatch, where for a while he came out with the kind of ballsy statement that I'm no longer going to be rifling, I will be the primary AWP for Astralis. And now it does seem to be more map dependent. Is this an observation you've made as well, Chad, that they haven't made a full decision of where that AWP's going?
Maybe it has to be map dependent. I think maybe, Carrigan's obviously not as good of a AWPer as Device, but if Device is not comfortable AWPing, say, middle on Mirage, which I don't think he is, then someone has to do it. You need to have an AWP there occasionally. You need to be able to mix it up. And if Device isn't going to do it, well, then Carrigan's going to have to do it. And that makes sense.
I mean, what about the trade-off, when you're losing Device on a rifle when he does take the AWP? Does that not make you uncomfortable at all? A lot of people regard him as some of the best riflers in the world.
Yeah, I think when you have Kirby and Dupree, though, you're supplementing it. So, someone has to be the AWPer. And if you're going to replace Cajun, who was the second AWPer, he has to do it. He's got to take the reins and embrace it.
And 3 of them did. I mean, you have Device, Kirby, and Dupree all above 100 ADR in that overpass. They were really just shredding through NiP. It's a big victory for them. Not surprising, no doubt about it, but that is going to be a bit of a knock in NiP's confidence. If you do want to check out the stats, if you do want to see that ADR, you want to see all the kills and deaths, you can check out the Score Esports application over on your phone. For now, we do take a break. When we come back, actually, we've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. It'll be Mouse versus Envy. We're going to be poking and prodding about Happy. We're going to be talking more and more about the change in coaching staff. We may have some interesting info for you, and all of that's coming up after our break.